Morning world and welcome to Thursday 2nd of June 2022 and also a brand new bank holiday. A new bank holiday, maybe a one-off bank holiday, to celebrate our Queen's 70th Jubilee. So congratulations, Your Majesty. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Some of us, however, have still got stuff to do. So lots of street parties, lots of celebrations. There's bunting all over the towns and the villages local. There's little crowns everywhere. There's pictures of the Queen everywhere. People are setting out tables and chairs and preparations for celebrations and stuff. So good on them. Me, I've got other stuff I need to do. So I'm going to start today's video with a thank you. So do you remember a week or so back, I mentioned that Reg had told me that I ought to get some red grease because it would be better for the kit, especially what I store outside, because it's a bit more moisture resistant to that. And I asked you guys if you could recommend somewhere I could get red grease from. Just recommendations. Well, some of you went a step further. So thank you, Peter. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Darren. And thank you for Anonymous, who sent me lots and lots of grease. So I got a box of grease there. I got a box of grease there. That's one from Darren. There's another 3 tubes in there. From 2 or 3 tubes come from Paul. And there's another box at the house of 2 tubes that came from somebody else that had no name in it. I don't know who it was from. Also, a new grease gun, also from Peter. I won't need any more red grease this year. I won't have to buy any. And thank you very much for your generous and kind gift. So I didn't expect you to give it to me. Thank you. Just thank you. Right, it is 10:15 in the morning. All the cattle and the birds are done. I've got a funny feeling that any time in the next week, we're going to kick off haymaking. So I've already instructed the contractor that when he sees a suitable window for making hay, I want to make hay, to get on and cut everything at Itchington. So there's going to be 36 acres to cut. So I'm going to get him to mow it because he's got a far bigger rig than me, and by the time I crunch the numbers for me to drive over there, mow it with my machine, by the time I added the hours, the fuel, the time, because he'd do it in less than a third of the time I will, it's no more expensive to get him to cut it than for me to do it. It's a one pass job. I will be putting on my Lotus, and I'll be doing the spinning, so I'm going to be spending quite a few hours over at Itchington on the spinner. Whether that's going to make for interesting video or not, I don't know, because it's going to be up and down and round and round and very, 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 very repetitive and quite a few hours. So I'll film some of it and I'll make it as interesting as I can, but no promises. Right, so what, done that, done the thank yous. Okay, I can lock up again now. So bearing in mind that the topper's going to have to come off the tractor and this guy's going to have to go on, and quite likely for, well, a week, I have got a little bit of grass cutting I just need to finish off first. So that is this morning's task. Morning, lad and lasses. You all right? Yeah? Everybody happy? Yeah? You'd rather be outside, but we've been through that. You can't. Blame him. If you could put a lid on it, he could go out, but you can't. Right. All right, well, you're gonna have to come out of there for an hour, is that all right? I know you're enjoying the shade, but go on, out you go, go on. Go on, good girl. You can come back in a bit. But if it gets really hot, you can come back in. So the cattle have gone back out in the avenue temporarily. There is a bite out here, not a terrific amount, but I'm going to let them have the bottom avenue, which I have topped off, and the avenue, which is going to be about 14 acres to roam around on. They've had these two paddocks out here for a couple of days, and they've chewed most of that off. Now, I'll need to finish it off myself and tidy it up. I think I'm going to refer to this as the relaxing few days before the mayhem of haymaking, because that is going to be pretty much full on tractor stuff. So, which some of you would look forward to no end. And there was a time when I too would have been champing at the bit to spend all day on the tractor. Not so much today. Nice and gently by the fence. I don't want to be ripping the fence out. These little paddocks are really handy for handling stock or just short-term keeping stock, like habits, sheep, stuff like that. Really handy for that, for managing stuff, but they're such a pain in the bum to keep tidy. Fiddly, stop, start, backwards, forwards. Yeah, but they're really handy. Yeah, it's a bit loud out there. So, that's pretty much about as close to the fence as I want to get. There's no competition to kiss the posts or anything like that. It's close enough. So the cattle have chewed this off fairly tight out here. They made quite a neat job of it. All I'm really doing is taking off the tufts and bashing the thistles. Thistles don't like being bashed. I mean, it's a bit early for cutting thistles really, but if I knock them back now, and then again in sort of July, end of July, you'd be surprised how many that kill, especially if it's dry. They don't like it. Cut a thistle in July, then you know you'll surely die. I know, cut a thistle in June, you'll be back soon, and it is June, but I want it tidy. Stinging nettles are quite a fibrous plant. You can actually hear the engine tone change when you hit the stinging nettles. But I don't want them either. They gotta go. So it's quite a noticeable difference of how much grass is left underneath the ash trees. I'm pretty sure that the ash leaf litter from the autumn sours the ground, changes the flavour of the grass. The cattle will eat it, but they're not really that fond. Don't seem to have the same problem underneath things like field maple or even sycamore quite so much. But the daft thing is, if I was to cut a branch off that ash tree over there and put it on the floor, they'd come and eat all the leaves off it. But they all look very happy, ain't there? What they really want is to get out on the golf course. That's what they really want. And that's where they're going to go as soon as TB is done. Right, we are almost done. This is the last piece. A little bit behind the house, which we've got to keep tidy for something we're doing later in the year. But yeah, almost done. Another awkward shaped piece of grain, but something that I'm very glad we have. So this is part of the golf course, and when they were building the golf course, this dip here was intended to be a green right next to our house, which some people say, well, there's no problem with that. Well, no, there isn't usually, but there was already a green a bit further down. And you'd be surprised the amount of language you get if someone misses their shot. Just once or twice or more in the past, I had to remind people that there were small children in the garden, and if they could refrain from the effing and blinding, it'd be much appreciated. Most would say, oops, I'm sorry, and some would say, mind your own effing business. So, yeah. Another reason why, when the golf course came up for sale, well, we just had to do it, didn't we? So I went around all the fence line yesterday with our little Husqvarna ride-on mower, so I've even less need to get close to the fence today. For an agricultural machine, Topper actually makes quite a good job of short grass. You know, I don't really need to get the ransoms out for this, unless of course this tractor's doing something else, and then the ransoms might come out. Okay, that's that bit done as well. I reckon. I don't know, I might just go over the common bits on the side of the common before I take the machine off, but that is pretty much everything for the topper done now. That's it, all done, including the common. So topper can come off now. Put that away. Well, actually what I might do, might get the pressure washer out later on, give it a wash off, grease it up, then put it away. So I expect we'll be using it again in a couple of months, but not for a bit. Turn the tap off, you devils. Don't turn the tap off. Leave it alone. So the tap starts dripping. They like to lick it when it's dripping, and then turn the blinking tap off. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Get out of it. That's it, it's done. It was literally just a wash off. It wasn't what I would call a deep clean. Didn't use any soap because all I'm really doing is washing muck off and dust. Muck and dust don't really need soap. It's only oils and greases and stuff like that that need detergents. So I just used 60 degrees heat, and that, as far as I'm concerned, is clean enough. Okay, so I forgot to wash the front tyre. I'm not getting out again for that. That'll be next time. Yeah, so yeah, it's not spotless. It's not what we would call shiny. There's no wax on it. It is literally just de-dusted and de-mucked. That was all I was looking for. Right, I'll put this thing away, and I think Mrs. P is coming with me out on the golf course. We're going to pick up and move some electric fence.